metrů pardubického blokodrážního oválu. Teď ale budeme nejvíce zvědaví na bitvu na prvním místě. Emil Sajfudilov jede stále velice pěkně na té první místě. Drží za svými zády Rune Holtu. Teď je důležité, aby Emil Sajfudilov dobře načasoval svoji formu, protože zlatá přilba se nejede na 4 kola, ale na 6 kol. A Emil Sajfudilov tady musí 6 kol. Propadá nájezdu do posledního kola. Nicky Pedersen zůstává ale ležet na zemi, bohužel. Byl to takzvaný pád přes hák. Doufejme, že tomuto závodníkovi nic nebude. Je to velká smůla pro dánského závodních strojů. Tak to je to, co jsme tady v poslední jízdě vidět příliš nechtěli. Pojďme se na to podívat ještě jednou ze zpomalení. Ano, Nicky Pedersen tam opravdu velmi tvrdě útočil na Emila Sajfudilova a je tady to, o čem jsem hovořil v těch předchozích jízdách. Nicky Pedersen a Emil Sajfudilov si nikdy nic nedarovali zadarmo. Emil Sajfudilov věděl, že za sebou má velmi tvrdého dravce a tak si svoji pozici držel. Podívejme se na to ještě jednou. Já si myslím, že kterýkoliv z jiných jezdců, nebýt to Emil Sajfudilov.
Gate 2 in blue, Piotr Pavlitzky, gate 3 white, and Michael Jepsen Jensen off the outside. And 3 of these riders, Janowski, Iversen and Pavlitzky, still have a chance of the semi-finals. Big points up for grabs. Who is going to make the semi-finals from these riders now? Janowski on the inside gate has made a good one. Oh, they're going to go down in an untidy heap.
Well, that's a hard crash.
That is a fast part of the track into that first turn. And let's hope that the boys are going to be okay.
Iversen's had a big blow there going in, and so did Pavlitzky. They got hooked up. They all got there together. Freddie Lingman used the word compact, not a lot of racing room out there. So the tapes are about to go up. Janowski inside, Iversen then. There, they get together, and Iversen just gets straightened up there and hooked on the back of Janowski's bike, and that creates the domino effect. Janowski there, no racing room at all, is there? No real fault. Janowski has moved out a little bit, Pavlitzky's come there, and look at that's a heavy, nasty impact as they go in the air fence. Let's keep our fingers crossed that these lads are okay.
Yeah, we are told that they are conscious, but
Janowski's come out a little bit, Pavlitzky's come across a little bit, and as a consequence there's just no racing room and riders have just clouted each other. No real malice in it. No decision from the referee. It's going to be all 4 back, we're hearing.
If they are fit to do so. Well, they're both up. They are both up. That is fantastic. He made a great start last time. Zegar off 2. Nicky Pedersen going off gate 3. And Dennis Stroy, the wild card, going off the outside in yellow. Have to fancy Hancock coming out of gate 3. Here we go there. He's number 12. And Hancock has got 20 in lead. Now he's got that first turn ahead of him. Can he dominate the race from here? Second place in blue is Matti Zegar, the Slovenian star. As Pedersen tries the inside line. Pedersen is going to take Zegar wide. Zegar's going to switch back up the inside. Can he return the compliment? Oh! Big crash!
Oh, they touched coming out of turn 4. Pedersen ran up the inside going into turn 3. Zegar then squared the corner off and then actually was closing the door, and Pedersen of course just kept coming, ran out of track, ran out of room. First pressure now, big decision for the referee.
Well, the referee has to decide who has caused the stoppage of the race. Now by the referee.
From that angle you've got to say that Zegar is naughty and gives him a real good shove as they come out of the corner. This angle is slightly different, with Zegar actually in front and Pedersen there possibly just running out of track. It's a tough call. I am... Let's have a look at this now. Zegar coming across there, probably comes across a little bit too far in actual fact and creates an issue. Whether Nicky Pedersen... Yeah.
Matti Zegar. It looks like Matti Zegar has been adjudged to be the guilty party and is excluded from the rerun. So we'll have Cardiff tonight. Jesper Steentoft of Denmark is our referee. A terrific atmosphere as well, has to be said. Kelvin Tatum, the man alongside me, former England World Cup winner, former world number 3, former world long track heat number 1, second time of asking, and Antonio Lindback has made a good start. He's got a little bit right down, a nasty crash in that first turn.
Again.
Freddie Lindgren and Bartosz Marslik, and it was an awkward looking tumble, that one, and Lindgren is still down. Let's hope that he's going to be okay, because he's landed awkwardly.
Well, he landed hard as well. He
Yeah.
landed on the track, which would have blown all the wind out of his lungs. There may have been contact with Peter Kilderman in there as well. This is unfortunate. Schmarslik is on his backside for the second time. Lindgren actually was flung, wasn't he, off his bike and landed heavily on his side or his back. We'll see the replays. He's sat up, so we'll suggest that he's not too bad. See it again. Lindback's made a terrific start. Yeah, heavy clash between Peter Kilderman and Schmarslik, and Schmarslik's bike's just collected Freddie Lindgren, and Lindgren has landed heavily there on the track, and that track is pretty solid, I tell you. Heavy contact there between the boys on the inside, and that's a nasty high side. Let's hope, let's keep our fingers crossed that he hasn't done something to his shoulder.
Well, he's up and walking away, Cal, which is good to see, because how many times do we see a crash like that results in a dislocated shoulder or a broken collarbone?
Yeah.
It'll be a big night here on Tuesday night. I'm sure they'll be loving that. And look at this, only 1 point between 4 riders on the start line, and 5 world titles between Woofenden and Pedersen. It's Woofenden off the inside, Harris off 2, Pedersen off 3, and Zagar going off the outside run.
Start, and then he got tailed off in 3rd place. Settling down, Woofenden, keep your eyes on him on the inside.
There we go with heat number 7, and it's a good start from Woofenden. No mistake that time from the inside gate. Harris holds 2nd spot. Now what can Zagar and Pedersen do? Pedersen's trying the outside run on Harris, but Harris has got a lot of drive up that inside. That's a good move from the Great Britain rider. It's a British 1-2 right now. Woofenden in red, Harris in blue, and Nicky Pedersen, the 3 times world champion, charging hard, but he's just in 3rd with Zagar at the back.
Well, look how fast Harris is. Harris is having to put the brake on him. Woffinden's in his car.
Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. What do you need to know? Have a drink, have your say. All opinions here today. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Enjoy your stay. Michael, Matt, and Chris are here today. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Come and have your say.
The name calling continues between Chris Holder and Buster Chapman. One says the track was too dangerous, the other says that this attitude is unacceptable. Whatever your view, is it right to be punished 3 times for the same event? Well, tonight have your say. Let us know what you think about this and any other subject. Only in Speedway. Good evening and welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Tonight we have our friend Chris Coffee Webby thing. There you go. Matt Buck is the only one of us that's not ill today.
Wait till next week, so
exactly.
Good evening.
And myself, GI. How are we all doing? Well, first
I'm
of all,
fit as a fiddle, so
yes. Well,
I think next week you'll both go in feeling like you can run a marathon, and I'll be.
well, I hope so. Yeah.
They'll be doing this to us next week.
And there you go.
Thank you.
Is it Christmas? Well, where do we start? Let's talk about Chris Holder and Buster Chapman. This keeps running and running and running.
Yeah.
The guy's been punished 3 times, I think.
That's right.
He had the original 28-day ban.
That's right.
Then he was sacked.
Mm-hmm.
And then they shoved another, was it 9-month ban
That's right.
on him? Is that right?
Well, they're just making it up as they go along,
Well,
are they? Or it's the BSBA, that's what they do.
I believe next week they're bringing back hanging, but yeah. It's and no real explanation for.
Well,
any
we've
of
said this
them.
before, haven't we? Though this is the big problem with the BSBA is they do things and they don't explain the things. Maybe it's because they don't understand what they're doing themselves. So they're trying to understand what to explain to anybody else.
There's no transparency.
It's a good word. Good word that is.
Yeah, I'm going to look up at the dictionary in a minute and find out exactly what it means. But yeah, well, I mean, we'd love to hear what everybody else says about it. My own opinion is that if he's done something wrong, and possibly he has, I mean, it's almost like withholding your services. Then there should be, a proper hearing and a proper verdict, and that's the end of it.
I just wonder with some of the criticism that Chris Holder's made of British Speedway on Twitter over the course of the season, whether that's maybe playing on the BSBA's mind a little bit, in the Speedway Control Bureau's mind a little bit. Right, we're going to have him. I hope that's not. I'd like to think that isn't the case.
If that is the case, it's wrong.
Well, that's it. It's victimisation, if anything.
Well, we shall see.
It can almost turn into bullying, really, in some ways, I suppose. But
would it stand up in a work tribunal or whatever they're called?
Well, if you refuse to work because he was dangerous, then if you're working on the building site, you walk on some scaffolding and it starts wobbling, and you come down, and the boss says, "Get back up there."
I think you can't refuse to work because it's dangerous at Speedway, because Speedway is inherently dangerous. I mean, that is the problem with that one. Yes, what can we do for you, sir?
The track is the same for everyone. If you feel it is too dangerous, withdraw from the meeting.
Well,
punishing someone for withdrawing from a track that they feel is too dangerous is not acceptable. It should be the rider's call, and if they feel safe or not. Let the ones who complete. Let me finish.
Okay.
Let the ones complete that want to complete. In the end, the whole sport suffers if race tracks are not prepared correctly. Excuse my croaky voice.
Why did he say "excuse my croaky voice"?
I just added that on the end.
I can see where he's coming from, but of course there are problems with that, aren't there? Mm-hmm. Because if you're, 16 points behind in a match and it's Heat 8, and you want to get the match called off, then you say to your riders, "Well, we'll tell the referee that you're complaining and you're not going to ride." That's a difficult one.
Well, this is another thing really where Speedo's a little bit dodgy in that sense, isn't it? So,
although I suppose what you could, if you say, "Well, okay, you don't ride, but you still continue the meeting,"
yeah,
it's a difficult one, and then you're paying customers are being shortchanged as well because riders are not riding, and I can see what. Yeah,
you've got to see from both people's point of view, especially someone like Chris Holder, who's come back from a very, very serious injury.
Well, that's true.
Probably too quickly. He's also seen his best friend, obviously, had his career and his life completely changed by an accident as well.
Exactly right.
So he's obviously going to be a little bit wary.
So you go back to. I'm going to talk Formula One there.
Go on.
You go back to 1980 something, I think it was, that famous battle between James Hunt and Niki Lauda.
76, I think.
76 was it? Yeah, we could be right here.
Yep.
And Niki Lauda came out in the last race, and it was pouring it down with rain, and he basically went out on the track and said, "No, this is too wet. I'm not racing in it," which handed the title to James Hunt.
Yeah.
You could say that was withholding services in exactly the same way, but like Chris Holder, he had been in a major accident that year, nearly lost his life being burnt, and everybody said, "Well, yeah, we understand."
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there should be a little bit of that going on.
I think so.
I
Some
think
of
you're right.
these time cases, you do need a little bit of common sense, don't you? Maybe this is in one
Hold
instance.
on. Did we use the word common sense and speedway together in a sentence
write it
there?
down,
Good, yes.
Good evening, Tomo. Tomo says, I see Drury has called out Holder on Twitter.
Has he?
Has he? Wow, put that
Well,
off. Put that up. Well, we need to know about that.
Not like Graham Drew enough to speak his mind.
No.
Wow.
He's usually quite reserved, isn't he?
No. So, interesting. So that's just going to simmer, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah.
That's going to. It gives us something to talk about, I suppose.
That's it,
Otherwise,
so-
what would we do? What would we do? Yeah, but continue with your views and opinions and so on. And you can do that by the following methods.
You can go to www.srbradio.com, or you can follow us on the various Facebook pages and groups, including / Brummies fans.
Okay.
We're also on UK Speedway. We're on the Cradley Facebook page. We're on Wolverhampton, even somewhere.
Yep.
Wolverhampton,
Okay.
isn't that
You can check that out.
isn't that the only team that
Can't
can't,
beat
beat
Poole, yeah. I was
Yeah, I
waiting for
think
that.
that's the one. Yeah. Somewhere over there they are. I don't know. Yeah, and other Facebook pages. But if you just search for Speedway Tavern, you'll find us, and search for us on TuneIn as well. We're on there as well.
There we go. Well done.
Well, the only tweet I can find from Graham Drury on the subject is Chris Holder tweeted, I'm not sure when this was, I'll say my piece after the weekend, and on 31st of July, Graham Drury's tweeted, have I missed it? That's the only thing I can see, so...
Fair enough. I think you did Graham. I think you missed it.
Yeah, must have done.
Okay, shall we have a look at what's happening on updates? We've got Ipswich versus Workington, Sheffield versus Newcastle, and Isle of Wight versus Plymouth
Well,
continuing
let's go
tonight.
to Ipswich first. The latest score 14-10 after 4 races in favour of the home side. So that's not a massive surprise there. I don't think Ipswich obviously going really well this season.
Yeah.
Workington, I think time's really running out for them now if they're going to make a late dash for the...
It's still quite close, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I'm not so sure they're going to get in now. I think they're...
No, I mean the score itself.
On the night it is, yeah. And Conor Martin continuing his good form that he showed last night. He won.
He did look
Heat
good
two. He
last
looked
night,
very good.
didn't
That's the
he?
best I've seen him ride, to be honest. Meanwhile, at Sheffield in the Championship, they're taking on Newcastle. And look at this for scoreline: Sheffield 12, Newcastle 18. That's
Wow,
after
that is
that's
surprising.
after 5 races. Newcastle have had a disappointing season. Some idiot took them to win the league, I don't know. That would.
Would it have rhymed with? No, I can't say that.
No, I wouldn't say that to him. Either. Scott Nichols guesting for Sheffield, and he's had a bad second in his first race, so that's at 18-12 to the Diamonds. So that's a bit of a surprise, that one.
Right.
Still a bit of time to go, of course. And last but not least, in the National League on the island, they're taking on Plymouth. So would you call that a local derby?
No,
Not really, no. It's a bit too...
you can if you like, but I'm not going
not
to.
There's a bit of water between them, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
it's the Isle of Wight 33, Plymouth 27. That's after heat number 10.
Okay, we'll keep our eye on that.
Can you see that top one?
Yeah, Redcar versus Glasgow is also taking place.
Oh, yes.
So we'll have a look at that.
Sorry, Redcar fans.
Swindon
missed it.
versus Somerset got postponed due to rain just before the meeting start. Thank you very much, Elliot Hunt, for that.
Cheers, Elliot.
Falling down on the job again.
Oh, no, yeah.
Mr. Buck, I don't know.
Inspirational.
They'll have to have a reduction in wages, won't they?
Can you get? Does that mean
Wages?
he has
No,
to
you
pay
didn't. Never
us?
told me that. So.
Sorry.
Well, you know that bank account that I got number again. Anyway, shall we have a little chat about
It is 16:20 at Redcar, by the way, after heat number 6
to Glasgow?
to Glasgow.
16:20. Okay.
That's right.
So, what's going on at Wolves?
Well, as already been alluded to, we are the only team that can't beat Poole at Wimborne Road.
I think there should be a steward's inquiry about that. I think
There
there's
should be a
something going on there.
Yeah, but Wolverhampton again forced to settle for a consolation point on their travels after a 48-45 defeat at Poole last night. Paris International Wolves got off to a nightmare start and trailed by 10 points after heat 8 8 heats at Wimborne Road. And although they staged a brave fight back to get within a point heading into the final 2 races, they narrowly missed out on a victory. It means Peter Adams' side have now earned a point from 5 of their last 6 away meetings since they had last won on the road in the SG Premiership at Leicester back in May. So this away form is really proving a bit of a problem at the moment. Some said they won more away meetings than Wolves this season. We're picking up points in away meetings, we're just not winning them. That's the
Of course, it's not helped with you being without Mr.
Well, basically with a 4-man team.
Yeah, without Mr. Riss.
Having said that, Mark Riss was practising
At
Perry
Perry
Bar
Bar last
He did
night.
look very good.
And you did
It's
look, was you
difficult.
there?
I was there.
I didn't realise. I thought you didn't go to Paul.
No, I didn't go to Paul. No, so
Now we understand why they didn't win.
No, he looked pretty. It's difficult when they're going around on the road, admittedly. But he looked
looked
pretty
fast
sharp.
and sharp.
I think he's going to ride for Edinburgh on Friday, and all being well, should be back in the Wolves team when we travel to Kings Lynn next Wednesday for our next meeting, because Ellis Perks' 28 deal now is finished. Finished last night. Fair to say he hasn't been particularly successful. So
we got more on the shall we call it a Twitter feud?
yeah,
Should we call it that? It's a Twitter feud. That's it. I've just called it a Twitter feud.
Yeah, it's good, man. Yeah. What's it called?
Twitter food, I think I said. So Chris Holder has replied apparently to Graham Drury, telling him to concentrate on leaving his club. That's not nice. That's a bit nasty, isn't it? It's a little bit nasty. Perhaps Graham Drury will concentrate on him and tell him to concentrate on leaving British Speedway.
I don't think he'll be coming back.
And the next comment is pointed towards Matt.
Yeah,
Matt, the tail just doesn't wag.
I think that's Wolsey's tail.
Yes,
It
yeah.
doesn't wag at all. So hopefully it'll wag a bit more with Mark Ellis back in the team. So
Well, you never
Sam
know.
Masters hoping to be back before the end of the month as well, which is miraculous considering he had a broken collarbone. He's had his surgery now, so
Yeah, but it's whether they come back too soon sometimes, don't they?
Well, I suppose the good thing in a sense is that they're coming back before the playoffs start, so you don't really want to be going into the playoffs cold. But
You can't see anybody but Swindon at the moment, really, can you? If you're honest.
Swindon look the pick of the teams at the moment. I'm not totally convinced Pooling are going to get in the top 4 now. I know even though they won last night, I mean Somerset and Rye House have really closed the gap on them. Rye House, of course, lost last night against Bellevue, so
I think it's quite surprising for me, anyway, how vulnerable Bellevue actually look. You know, they're not winning their home meetings by
it's because a lot of
big margins,
riders raise their game, I think, going there because of the track, and it's not there isn't any. Peter Adams said a couple of years ago that, well, I think it was 18 months ago, that it'll be some time before Bellevue have any sort of home track advantage on that track, because a lot of riders are going to relish going there and raise the game. So
let's say hello to Chris Kerr.
hello, Chris.
He said if other riders supported Chris in his opinion of the track, he would have a leg to stand on, but it doesn't sound like that happened. I was a part of Redcar when the whole team opted not to ride due to track conditions. We all received a fine, but no meetings missed. The BSP rules are a bit of a joke when they just make up penalties. Well, I think that's what we was alluding to, really, wasn't it? Holder did only miss 2 rides, I thought. A little overkill on the fine. Might be more going on there on both sides. I think that's absolutely right. I think there is more going on there. Wolves are riding twice at Kings Lynn next Wednesday. 7:30 start to complete both Premiership fixtures.
We've got a few double headers coming up, actually.
So you're riding 2 Premiership fixtures back to back at Kings Lynn.
Yes. The track's sorted.
Can I just say, only in
Only in
Speedway.
Speedway. That's crazy.
We've got a few double headers as well. I mean, obviously we've got the double header on the bank holiday Monday as well at the time. So, and then I think there's another one after that as well. So
Where?
on the 4th of September. No,
There's been a lot of rain-offs and so on, hasn't there?
Yeah,
So-
Swindon and Kings Lynn on the 4th of September. That's a double header. And obviously we've got the double header with the Bellevue meeting on the bank holiday Monday, followed by Cradley's next home meeting, which is right after that. So
Keep the comments coming, guys. We love it. We love it. It helps the show.
it's amazing how
move along.
all the top flight clubs keep saying that there's too many gaps in the fixture list, and yet we're struggling to get meetings in. We're having to run double headers because we ran double headers last season.
Yeah. It's.
I mean,
But they didn't be there. I don't know.
I've got on record as saying I do not like double headers at all.
They're not good for the track.
They're not good for the track, and they can, especially if they're dull meetings, they can.
2 dull meetings.
Yeah, 2 dull meetings. Yeah.
I should do heat 1 of the first, and then do heat 1 again of the second. We should do it that way. That'd be a different way of
That's a
doing
good
it.
idea,
wouldn't it?
actually,
That'd be a different way of doing it. In fact, what they should do is just come out and do heat 1 and do 8 laps. The first 4 laps is the first match, and the second 4 laps is the second match. I'm full of innovation tonight. Is it-
Best innovation I heard was someone a
Probably
few
be
years
honest.
ago suggested that they could make it more interesting by having the 2 riders from one team go around one way and the 2 riders go around the other way.
somebody be suggesting a figure of 8 track. Oh, I think I just did.
Carl Fogarty did that, I think, a few years ago when he was covering the Speedway at Cardiff in 2001. He suggested a figure of 8. I think he was being facetious, but
Yeah.
Or
Carl
tandem.
Fogarty, really.
Have a tandem bike.
Speedway bikes. Right, okay. We've started something off here, so let's have everybody. So let's hear your innovations. Rob. What innovations would you come up? Let's keep it light. Let's keep it funny.
I'm serious.
And if we can make Webby laugh,
I know, it really hurts.
loud enough and
Thanks.
long enough, we might actually see Huey. Which is So we'll have a look at the Premiership table since we've just been talking about that. You've got a top 4 of Swindon, Bellevue, Wolverhampton, and Poole. Paul obviously in 4th place just because they beat Wolverhampton. You've got a lot to answer for
I know,
Wolverhampton.
yeah, I do apologise.
goodness
to the rest
sake.
of
How many times, it's a competition, how many times can we mention Paul in one night? It's been pretty good tonight, hasn't it, so far?
Well, you've just got a different definition of the word good to me,
Yeah,
obviously.
I think it's been pretty good.
I think one of the biggest stories is who's going to finish bottom. Can Kings Lynn wrest that from Leicester? Or are Leicester going to say, no, it's ours, we belong there?
Well, Leicester lost at Kings Lynn last night,
Yeah.
so that's obviously...
But they was winning at one point, weren't they, from what
Yeah.
it's, that's what I mean. I
I
think
mean, Kings Lynn mathematically are still in with a chance of the top 4 when you look at the table, but with the team...
they've got...
Although, having said that, they very nearly won at Bellevue on
I
Friday.
saw that.
Actually, probably should have won the meet if you look at the update, so...
But that's like you were saying, people do up there.
It's,
Everybody apart from Bellevue.
there's been a lot of
apparently.
criticism with the Premiership this season, but in fairness, despite all the problems, it's one thing you can say about it, it's been very, very unpredictable. I don't think anybody would have predicted Swindon to have had such a good run.
Would anybody have predicted that a side could lose 5 home matches on the trot and still be in 4th place?
That's right.
I mean, how does that work? Yeah,
Somerset have they started slowly, but they've had some good results. They had it was a good crowd when I was there last Wednesday, and I think they've really taken to top flight Speedway.
Well, that's interesting, is it? Somerset and Rye House, both top flight, both with 20 matches and both on 29 points.
They've both done well. I think with Somerset, the key is going to be whether they can become stronger over the next few years, because a club like Somerset are used to winning, aren't they? They've been dominant in the championship for so many years, and finally made the step up into the big league. Can they?
I mean, they can both beat Poole, can't they? Both
could
Rye
do,
House
yeah.
and Somerset, they've got matches in hand.
I think of the two, I'd probably be more inclined to pick Somerset to catch Poole, to be honest.
You don't care really. You just want somebody to catch Poole. You want them not to be in. Let's be honest about it. Did you say that?
I don't think many people would be sorry to see the back. Sorry if Poole didn't make the top 4. But,
Well, yeah, they've been too greedy with it, haven't they? Is
Poole?
the thing.
it is pretty much Poole. It is pretty much battle for 4th now. I think you can say.
I think the
Bellevue
interesting, for me, one of the most interesting battles is that last place. Who is going to be in last place?
Yeah.
And then what happens with that?
That playoff's going to be
playoff.
something pretty.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And
Especially as it's on the telly as well, so it's
Yeah.
which is-
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I must admit. Okay, so let's talk about last night's match, Birmingham versus Mildenhall. I turned up at the track last night, and as I do, I sort of get opinions of everybody around me on the track staff and so on, and then everybody was like, it's going to be tough tonight. I think they could beat us. It's going to be tough. Now, obviously, we're Brummies, and we always think we're going to lose. I mean, that just goes... But I did sort of say, well, they've got riders that I don't think can really ride Perry Barb. The one striking example being John Armstrong.
yeah.
And Well, you said earlier you didn't look interested. I'm not sure it's whether he didn't look interested. I just think don't think he likes the track. I think he's got a block.
I'd actually forgotten that John Armstrong did have a short spell with the Brummies.
He did have a short spell with the
2007,
Brummies.
so-
He had a short spell with the Brummies. He replaced Aidan Collins.
Yeah.
And I can remember talking to him on the way back to the pits after one match, and he actually turned round and said to me at that time, "I can't get on with this track. I really can't get on with it." So it just feels like he's got a block in his head right from that
Well,
time.
if you convince yourself that, then
So I wasn't worried because of that. I've had a few people say to me that we wouldn't have won if Richard Hall hadn't been riding and got a full maximum.
I thought Mildenhall would do better than they did. I mean, it finished, was it 12 points? I
Something
think that
like
flattered
that.
Mildenhall,
I think
to be
it
honest.
did
I
a
thought they
little
were
bit.
very...
I think our riders relaxed after the break.
I thought Mildenhall were very poor, to be
But
honest.
I would counter that Richard Hall argument with the Tom Bacon argument of
Yeah.
he would have scored a lot more than we got from rider replacement. So I think that.
Yeah,
the two
I
even
never
themselves
thought Mildenhall would go to Perry Bar and win. I thought they maybe might
get a point.
get a point.
It was important.
Could,
It was important.
It was very important. I think
they
that probably puts them out of it now.
We'll have a look at the table in a minute.
Yeah.
We'll talk about last night's smash a little bit more. I felt that there was a competition going on within the competition. I just had this feeling that the way they both attacked the track and were going faster and faster and faster all night, that JPB and Richard Hall had decided they was going to get the fastest lap between. I think there was a bit of a competition going on there. I got no inside information on that, by the way. It's just that was an impression I got.
Yep.
Richard Hall, 6-point average. And we wasn't allowed to have him on. I think it was a 7.5 last year. It still rankles.
Only in Speedway, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still and it's this again. Why?
Perception, so.
Yeah, explain the decision, and you never get that explanation, do you?
Yeah, why? Because we said so. That's
Yeah.
supposed to be the explanation, and
It is very annoying and frustrating, and let's be honest, it puts people off.
well, that's it. So
The very thing that we don't want to do. So yeah, we'll go through the riders, I think, and just give them a out of 10. So we had JPB, started like a house on fire. Not quite so fast in 13 and 15. He seemed to. I think the track moved away from where it was at the beginning of the meeting and went maybe towards Milton, or became much slicker at that point. I don't know. So I'm going to give him 9 out of 10. I think
7.
Yeah, 7. Well, yeah, tough customer.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was until those last two.
Harsh
heats-
critic of the odd article with stuff. So.
Yeah, okay. Riding at number 2, Lane Cupid didn't have a very good night for him. Going too wide, I think.
Yeah.
Trying to follow what he saw JPB do, maybe, I don't know. I think he'd probably give himself less than I'm going to give him, but I'll say 5 because he did win that rider replacement ride, which was
Yeah, I'd probably
good
say
one.
4,
Right.
4.5.
He's a tough customer tonight, Chris.
Very
Yeah.
tough. Very tough.
Riding at number 3 was
Richard Hall.
Richard Hall. Okay, you get 10 out of 10 maximum.
Yeah, it's very professional. I think, bearing in mind that it was going to be a disadvantage to his club that he's riding for. And
Well, yeah, again, only in Speedway. Although I haven't got a problem with that. That's about being professional,
Yeah.
isn't it? And I think Speedway's unique in that, and actually it deserves to give itself some credit that
Yeah.
it does that, and does so with, for once, some sort of credibility.
well, that's right.
It
So.
works. It's a system that works. I wish it didn't happen as much, and we spoke about that before. Talking about Richard Hall, I've been hearing rumours of disquiet amongst the ranks that Cradley supporters have got on his back a little bit, I think, for riding for us apart from anything else. But JPB's his stepson. He's so, and I don't think Richard Hall's impressed from what I'm hearing, but
Well, he does sort of vaguely hint that in his interview, didn't
yeah, he did.
he? So,
Sorry, did you say Cradley?
thank Thank you.
Well done. I'm going to give him the sack later. So yeah, that's that side. So ride replacement for Tom Bacon. I think I can't remember. We got about 4 points, something like from ride replacement.
He'd have got more than that, wouldn't
He'd have got, yeah, well, he's 8-point average, isn't he? So he certainly would have got that at home. As an aside, an expert person, obviously being Liam Carr, he only got one warning for moving at the tapes yesterday.
Well done, Liam. You're getting better, right?
That deserves a round of applause. And to be fair, the warning that he got, he did move.
He did move.
I don't think it was cheating. I think it was, I want to win this one.
Yeah.
And he tried. It just got twitchy, as it can happen. So there you go. Weird that he was winning his first races by a mile and he was complaining that he hadn't got enough speed.
Yeah.
But he was. I'm going to give him... You see, now I gave JPB 9 out of 10 and I want to renege that now. I want to give him 8 out of 10 so that I can give Liam Carr 9 out of 10. That's where I want to go with that one.
Yeah, 9 I'd say.
Yeah. Alex Spooner tried very hard. Needs to learn to gate.
Yes.
Basically, I think as far as holding down a reserve position, he's got the speed to hold his own.
Needs to
in
get
that.
the track referee, isn't he? So
yeah, so he needs to. So 3.
I'll say 6.
Well, there
So-
you go. Okay.
I thought you put a lot of effort in.
Sympathy
You know,
vote
so I
there.
thought-
Oh yeah, he did. I'm not
Well,
got no.
yeah,
I've got no. I think we should sign him. If I'm honest,
Yeah.
have him there, and because I can see potential there.
Not so sure whether he's got the right surname for a Birmingham rider though, Spoon. But that's another story.
Yes. Taylor Hampshire scored double points again. You can't ask really for a reserve, particularly one with as little experience as he's got. I don't think you can ask for a lot more. He's got a really awkward style.
I wouldn't say clumsy, but
no, I don't think he is clumsy, but he looks clumsy. I
Yeah.
think it works for him. He's very quick out the gate. The criticism that I've heard levelled at Taylor Hampshire in recent weeks, and I think not unfairly, and I think he'd probably recognise it himself, and I'll explain why I think he would in a minute, is that if he gets out the gate, he goes away, which is great. That's not a criticism, by the way.
Oh no.
But if he gets to the first corner, level terms with the other riders, he backs out of it, or he has done previously. He's backed out
How old is he?
out of the corner. He's only 16. Yeah, exactly.
That's
He's learning it. And
fair.
he's back. When I say criticism, it's only criticism in the sense that that's something that he needs to improve.
Yeah.
There were signs last night that he did that he was competing a little bit more in the first corner and not backing off. So that's why I think he's recognised that, because he's obviously worked
that's
on
where
it.
90% of speed races are won at the end of the day on the first corner. So because you've got to be able to ride it and be confident.
You've got to get to the third corner first.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, getting to the third corner first.
Yeah.
And then you can control the line and all the rest of it.
But first corners you have to be prepared to go in with your elbows, especially if you want to make it to the.
Well, talking about going in with your elbows, I think Lane Coop went in with his elbows against
John Armstrong.
I don't think John Armstrong particularly liked it. I loved it, to be honest. That's good to see that. It's good to see,
that's it,
And Leon Carr did it in the first bend against somebody I forget now, but he really, I mean, they were both giving it, but he weren't. Yeah, no, I'm getting there first, mate. That was good to see. A satisfactory team performance. You've got to say that Taylor Hampshire has made the side much better balanced. There's points coming from everywhere.
That's right.
Because of that. Let's look forward then to Birmingham against Bellevue tomorrow night. Can we get something out of it? Can we get a point?
I think it's unlikely. With the best
You think they're
running
going to
orders.
run because they've been running away pretty much out against everybody?
Well, Ken
haven't
pushed them a bit earlier in the season, but apart from that, I mean, Crowley were there and were awful by all accounts. They weren't able to compete at all with them. So
The only thing I will say on it is that surely it's the sort of track that JPB is going to like.
Well, if he's showing the same sort of speed, he's going to be. If he can get on the line, he's going to have a great chance of doing well.
I would
there.
say Liam Carr's
Gotta like the track.
Gonna like it. I would say that from reserve, Taylor Hampshire's probably going to like it.
Yeah.
I don't know about Tom Bacon because we don't know how he's going to, because he's coming back from an injury.
I can't remember, did he ride there last year? I can't remember whether he rode.
Not sure.
Last year, so.
But I'm sure he's ridden there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that's putting a lot on Tom Bacon. You would think Lane Cooper would enjoy it as well, actually.
Yeah.
He likes
stuff on the bike.
Yeah, we can stop. This kid's still learning. Yeah, let's say that. Yeah.
It is a talking point because, as a lot of you will know, we had the two lads from Cradley in last week.
Yeah,
didn't we?
yeah.
Talking about the proposed new track and whatever. And Tomo's just come up, what's this I've read at the council? I haven't even looked at Cradley's proposals, let alone give it any sort of backing. I did see that amongst
Yeah,
the
I read
media.
that.
Yeah, I had heard about that. I spoke to somebody at the track about it yesterday, and again, this is all hearsay, so I don't know the ins and outs of it. But my understanding is that they didn't actually let the council know, didn't speak to the council about it, and it's council land.
Yeah. Which I'd have thought would have been the first thing.
I don't know, but I mean,
maybe it was just a.
Well, their heart's in the right place. And they're trying to do the best for
you could
Cradle.
tell that,
If they make mistakes, they make mistakes, but they shouldn't be. What's the word that I'm looking for?
Presumptuous.
Yeah, I mean, don't get on the back if they've made mistakes. Give them the chance to put it right. Is all I would say. Hopefully they will, because
as you say, their heart's in the right place.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
definitely.
It's a shame if the council use that as an excuse to say no.
Yeah.
That's my feelings on it. What the council should do is get them by the scruff of the neck and say, "Oi, this is what you need to do."
Yeah.
Rather than say, "Well, you've done it wrong. Go away."
Which
it's in both parties' interests.
So yeah. So that's my take on it. Anyway, should we have another look at the updates?
Yep. Let's go to Ipswich first of all. It was 14-10 when we last looked in favour of the Witches, and Ipswich have since increased their lead. It's now 28 points to 8 in favour of the home side.
28-8.
28-20.
28, thank goodness me.
Oh, maths is awful. You can see why I struggled at maths at school.
Yeah, and Andy, your English isn't much better.
I know,
to be fair.
yeah.
Sheffield versus Newcastle.
It was 12-18 in favour of the Diamonds earlier when we looked.
It was.
Sheffield have now turned that around. Not by much, but it's now 28-25 after heat number 9.
Interesting match.
So
Isle of Wight Plymouth. Isle of Wight were well ahead.
fair enough. Let's have a look. Isle of Wight 33-27 was the score when we last looked. A bit closer now. It's the Isle of Wight 37, Plymouth 35.
37-35.
That's with
three
races still to go, and of course, two of those races, of course, Plymouth they're going to have the Boxall Roynan pairing, so maybe Plymouth in the box seat now to win that meeting.
Maybe so. How's Adam been doing in that?
I think he had a retirement in his first race, and then he's had 3 wins after that.
Right. Okay. So yeah, he's
Two
found
wins
his way
even,
around.
or 2 wins even, I should say. Sorry.
And Red Car got Glasgow.
Red Car 17, Glasgow 25. Dan Bewley, the man everyone's talking about in British Speed at the moment. 2 rides, 2 wins, going well at the moment.
Well, he's really taken off this year, hasn't he? I mean, he looked good last year.
He looked good last year,
but he's looking
he's
good everywhere.
He's found another level, hasn't he, this
Yeah.
year? So
Yeah. Looking forward to see him ride when Bellevue turn up.
Yep.
Right, we'll have a look at the championship table. I'm looking at the time. We want to have to talk about the Grand Prix as well when we get the chance. So the top 4 at the moment are Sheffield, and they're going to increase that. Ipswich, Glasgow, and Edinburgh. And that's all fairly tight as well. I mean, Sheffield have got 61 points, and you got down to Edinburgh 54. I think Red Car are probably out of it, particularly after tonight's result, if indeed that is.
yeah, I think that
confirmed
top
as a
4 is going to
result.
stay as it is now, to be honest.
So everybody's talking about Glasgow as being the winner, but could Sheffield do it?
Well, Sheffield have had a few tough years, haven't they? I mean, they dominated that league for many, many years for a long time, but they haven't been able to
I mean, they've got
do it in recent years, but they've certainly had a good time.
Glasgow got 2 matches in hand over them, but that wouldn't be enough to get to 61 points. So it's tight, isn't it?
Tight. It is tight, yeah. So, but I mean, and you could make a case for any one of the top 3. I think winning it. I'm not so sure about Edinburgh now, but I think one of the top 3 definitely you'd be tipping to do well.
That's going to be interesting. So who would Sheffield choose? So if it finished like that, I mean, just being devil's advocate and so on, who's Sheffield going to choose in
Edinburgh.
the playoff?
I think they choose Edinburgh myself.
And Glasgow would go, no.
Yeah.
And then Ipswich versus Glasgow, because nobody wants to do Ipswich, do they?
It's an awkward place to get to,
Yeah.
isn't it? Plus they're very good at home, so
yeah, it's interesting.
Yep.
Interesting stuff. And then, obviously, as we've been alluding to, the match that I'm really looking forward to seeing is this playoff.
Yep.
Relegation promotion thing, and how will they stick to it? That's what everybody wants to know. If
well, we hope so.
Yeah.
Especially as they've apparently all but signed a deal that tells them that they can't wriggle out of it. So,
well, that's what nobody's seeing the wording of this deal. Again, transparency.
yes,
Again, transparency. I've known Robbo for years, nothing to do with Speedway. I think we all know he would struggle to run a bath.
it's a Speedway Tavern. This is, by the way. So.
Oh, Speedway pairs are on Eurosport
Yeah.
apparently tonight. So
Ties by tonight, 5 out of 5 carried Holder to get in the final.
What's that about?
Speedway best pairs.
Oh, right, I didn't know that. Is that on tonight?
Must be the pairs, yeah.
Oh, well,
I'd forgotten about that actually. So I haven't.
see, updates again. Yeah,
Yeah, so-
how come we need to sack our updater?
I know, yeah.
I know.
Should be on it.
We sat,
Where's
the
the
last, we
researcher?
sat the last update, didn't we? So it's,
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, so let's go through the fixture list
right.
from the National League and see if we can get an idea of who's going to get
Okay,
that
well,
fourth place. Can we put the table up for us, please?
Sorry.
Well, I've got them
Thank you.
here, so we'll start off with Mildenhall first. We'll go reverse order.
So, what's Mildenhall has currently got 19 points.
right. Okay.
Okay. So let's see what we think.
So Sunday they've got Lakeside at home, then Lakeside away.
Well, I think there's 3 points there.
Right.
But they ain't going to win away, are they?
No.
But they'll get 3 for the home win, I think.
Okay. Stoke at home,
They'll get another 3 points there, I think.
then Stoke away.
That's an interesting one, isn't it?
Hmm.
I'm going to give them a point.
Okay. Then Buxton at home,
That's a win.
Isle of Wight away.
Hold on, so that's 10 points. That's 29 points. That would give them.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, we're doing more. Sorry, no. Sorry.
Right.
Isle of Wight away.
Yep.
They're not going to win that one.
Okay. Plymouth away.
They might get a point there.
Yep.
It would be 2 points, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Plymouth away. I don't think they're going to get anything from
No, I
Plymouth.
don't. Cradley at home. And then Eastbourne away. It's the last 2 meetings.
Well, they're not going to get anything from Eastbourne, but Cradley at home.
Then they need to really to pull a lot of points on it before we get those. They get to those last 2 meetings.
I think they'll beat Cradley. I think probably Cradley.
Well, they're
will
always
get a
fired up
point.
against Cradley because they don't like him to this.
Yeah, so we'll give them 3 points there.
And then Eastbourne away.
Yeah,
Well,
they're not
that's
going to
good.
get anything
No.
from that. So 15 points. 15 plus 19 is
Don't smell.
34, isn't it?
34.
34. Okay. God, put me on the
So-
spot now.
I know.
So Moldy will finish on 34, we think.
Okay, so Kent next.
Kent.
Okay, so Plymouth away.
So very similar tracks, aren't they?
Plymouth could have a big say, I think, in this.
What do you think?
I think they'll get a point at Plymouth. I don't think they'll win there.
Okay, I think that's a good shout actually.
Yep. Eastbourne away.
No, they're not going to get anything there.
Eastbourne at home.
No, I think they'll beat Eastbourne at home. Eastbourne might get a point. Yep.
Bellevue at home.
This is difficult, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's more difficult than you think.
Yeah. I think they're not going to get anything. I think Bellevue's going to beat them.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking. Remember how well Jack Smith rides Kent. and
Yes,
so on.
he does.
Yeah. So I don't think they're going to get anything there. Go on.
Okay, Brummies away.
Well, we'll win that. I've got to say that.
I've
haven't
got to
I?
say that, haven't you? Stoke away.
Stoke away. I think they'll probably beat Stoke.
Yep. Buxton away.
They'll beat Buxton.
And then the last match in the league is Plymouth at home.
Well, they'll beat Plymouth at home. That's 13 points. What did they start off with?
Yeah, so that put them on to 47.
47. Okay, that puts them in front of Mouldy.
Okay. Right, Cradley next. And bear in mind as well, Cradley.
Then, well, I'll just put. I can do this straight away. 0, 0.
Yeah,
0.
well, that sounds good to me actually. So, okay, so Brummies at home.
Well, they're going. I think they'll beat us. Unfortunately, I think we might get a point out of it. But I think. What,
Okay.
What do you think?
I think Cradley will win, but I do fancy the Brummies to nick
Get
a
a
point.
point. Yeah. Okay.
Bellevue at home.
Mm.
I think Bellevue will win there.
I think they will actually.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a hell of them. I might go and watch that. That's going to be a good match. That is. Yeah. Next one.
Bellevue away.
No, well, Bellevue will win that one.
Mildenhall away.
Mildenhall.
What did we say on when we did Mildenhall's prediction?
I think we said Mildenhall will win, but
Yeah.
probably give Cradley a point.
Yeah. Eastbourne at home.
I think I'm going to have to give that to Cradley.
Yeah, so they've got 3 tough home matches: Cradley, Bellevue, Birmingham, and Eastbourne. And then their last match is away on the Isle of Wight.
I think they'll probably beat the Isle
Yeah, I
of
think
Wight.
they'll beat the Isle of Wight.
That's 10 points. So what do they start off with?
That would put them on to 37.
So that puts them on 37. That's put them out of it then. And
That sounds good.
yes,
And finally the Brummies. Bellevue away.
I don't think we're going to get anything. If I'm
No,
honest.
I don't see Birmingham getting anything at Bellevue.
Go on then.
Buxton away.
I think we'll beat Buxton.
Cradley away.
I'm hoping for a point.
Yep. Bellevue at home.
Oh wow, that's going to be a tough one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What are their reserves like, Bellevue? I can't remember.
I think they've been pretty strong all the way
Yeah.
through, haven't they? Home and away, so
We've got to win our home matches. So I'm going to go for a win.
yeah.
But they will get a point off us.
Kent at home,
We'll beat them.
and then Plymouth away.
Plymouth away. I want to beat Plymouth away. They knocked us out of the knockout cup. I think I'll give us a point.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
the Brewers will win at Plymouth.
So that's 11. We started with 27. That's 38. We're just going to fall short.
So it's going to be, you imagine it's Kent again.
Well, if what we say is true, it's Kent's going
He's
to
probably
get
going to
through.
be totally out, but
Let's hope so. Well, that was rubbish.
oh well, we haven't done that now. So.
That's closer than I thought, actually. At least we beat a successful
One
season.
thing I
if
will
you
say
beat
about
Cradley.
the National League this season, now after the last couple of seasons, it's good that it's been a lot more competitive at the top, and we're coming into the end of August now, and it's still.
Would it
wide
surprise you to know that I preferred last season and the season before to this one?
No, it wouldn't really surprise me, to be honest.
But anyway, we've had 2 good seasons. Let's not be greedy. Let's
Yeah.
not be Cradley. Let's not be Paul. Fogo versus Monster final. Is that what that's?
That's in the pairs, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not bad.
Okay, well that's all good stuff. Well, let's talk about Ty Woffington. I thought he looked a lot more on the pace.
That was his best performance yet, wasn't
in
it?
the
So,
Lilla, yeah.
I think in this season, so it was.
He was in with a shout, wasn't he?
He was. He's done well there in the past. Obviously, Jason Doyle struggled. I don't think he's fully
Which
fit,
was, yeah.
to be honest.
No, I don't think it. But at least from his point of view, he's got some points on the board, and that will.
That's right. Well, he's five adrift now with Magic Janowski. But he's 4 points clear of Dudek, so.
It's all tight at the
See,
top.
Ty Woffington and Bohard Smartley both on 71 points now. That's
Wow.
17 points. They're not out of it yet.
No,
If they get a couple of good results, then they're right.
I mean, who did you choose at the beginning of the
I went for
season?
Barton Smartley.
Yeah.
He had a poor start, but he was brilliant at Cardiff. He probably should have won at Cardiff,
Yeah.
to be honest. But he
Probably should have won at Millhill. I thought he was fast and used the whole of the track. And,
Yeah.
yeah, good. It was a good racing. Actually, some good
It is
racing.
a very good racetrack, Miller. So even Emil Ridnoff, he's got 68. I mean, if he gets a couple of big scores together, he hasn't been particularly consistent. But
No, he hasn't been the same rider as he was before.
it's taken him a while to get back
yeah.
into it, isn't it? But he started showing some positive signs. Also, going to just obviously wish Piotr Pawlicki all the best as well. Obviously, a pretty bad injury over the weekend, and obviously ex-Wolves rider. So get well soon, Piotr.
Hello.
Quick one. Just a quick one. I've asked people to shout out where they're from and what they're doing and whatever. So far, only one person has decided to play a game. So it's hello to Jessica Young. Hello, she says. I'm from London. I support Kent Kings, but also Cradley too. That's a good mishmash,
Well,
isn't it?
my flab has never been so gasted. How can you support Cradley? I'm sorry. Can we ban her, please?
Okay.
It's not boring.
No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. Thanks for that, Jessica. I am interested to know how you would support two teams in the same league. That's there's some history there with Cradley.
Does
maybe.
Jessica wear a half and half coat when they meet? Or?
Yeah, who do you support when Cradley's at Kent and vice versa? That'd be interesting. That's
It's
cool.
like somebody supporting Brummies and Cradley. That would never happen, would it?
No.
No.
It's like somebody supporting Wolverhampton and
Or
well,
Blues.
yeah,
Or
Wolverhampton.
Birmingham
Really.
and Villa. If she's happy, leave her alone.
Of course. I really don't know what to say about it. So, come on then. Let's nail our colours to our masts. We're sort of halfway through the Grand Prix season. Who do we
5
think?
to go. 7 rounds gone, 5 to go. So we're over halfway. Actually,
Yeah. So who's going to win?
I think Maciej Janowski's going to win it.
You think Magic's going to do it? Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at his scores, his 16s, 17s, 17s,
Dudek
13.
seems to be falling away a little bit, doesn't he?
Well, it's his first year, so he's done remarkably
Yeah.
well for his first season. So he'll have learnt a lot. I mean, the race for the top three now is wide open now. I mean, Freddie Lindgren was brilliant on.
He looked good at
Miller,
Manila,
looked
didn't he?
Good at Miller as well. And he's only 5 points adrift of Dudek now, so he could be pushing for a.
Where's
top three spot.
Oh, I forgot his name. The other Swedish rider,
Lindback.
Lindback, that's the one.
Well, he obviously won the meet. He won 19 points, but 9th at the moment. He's not going to win. He's not going to catch the
No,
lead.
he's
but he can still
he's a weird one for me. Sometimes he
When
just
he-
looks
On
unbeatable.
his day, he's absolutely brilliant. I mean, he won at Cardiff last year, but he does have a lot of Grand Prix where he just doesn't seem to
Turn up.
turn up.
Yeah.
Just goes missing, really. Obviously, the big conundrum, I suppose, when you think if you're looking further forward to next year, is whether Greg Hancock will be getting a pick. Because I think he's
Well, he's not going to.
I don't think he's going to get in the top.
Qualify
I don't think
automatically,
he's going to
is he?
get in the top 8 now. Obviously, Monster are back in the series, so they're probably going to want an American in it, and he's really the only.
He's the only one, isn't he?
bet, really,
Yeah.
isn't he? So I suppose it really depends on Hancock whether he feels that he can. He wants to carry on.
Well, yeah, that's the first
yeah.
thing. Is what does he want? Is
I've
he?
always thought with Greg Hancock, I think the moment that he stops thinking he can still compete, he'll stop. To be honest, I mean, in fairness, he's done remarkably well to carry on as long as he has and to stay at the top as long as he has. I don't think anybody will ever do it again.
No, I don't
Fairness,
think so.
But no, it's been an interesting series this year. It's been very.
Well, we said it
unpredictable.
at the beginning, didn't
Yeah,
we?
it had the potential to be one of the best ones. So
And it's. I mean, is it 7 different
that's right.
race winners? Is it 6 out from 7?
6
isn't it?
obviously. Magic
Yeah.
Janowski's won 2 Grand
Yeah,
Prix.
so that's
So-
it's saying how
Are we
wide
gonna,
open it is, you know.
Are we going to finally get another Polish world champion? We've only had 2 so far. Obviously, Thomas Golob and Sazakil back in the 70s.
Jesus, that's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, they are. Let's make no bones about it. They are the standout speedway nation.
They are at the moment, yeah.
But they don't. That's not translated into world titles.
It hasn't translated the way that it did with the Danes.
But exactly.
In the 80s,
Yeah.
didn't
Exactly.
They? So,
Yeah. It's. You have to wonder why that is. Do they just not travel very well?
Well, they travel better now than they did years ago, to be fair. I mean, I think, as I say, I think I've said before, when I started going to watch Speedway, the Poles were the sort of people who turned up at Monmore Green and nearly demolished the place trying to get around. But
Tomo reckons that Holder, Pedersen, Hancock and Hampel will all be out of the top
I'm not so sure about
8.
Nicky.
He also says that if there was no Brummies, he'd follow the Wolves. Well.
Well, we've all got our
Guilty secrets. No, I don't see. I don't see Nicky being in the Grand Prix next year. I'm not totally convinced he's going to carry on racing. To be honest, I think he's been.
What, Nicky Pedersen?
Yeah.
I think he's had far too. He's probably had one bump too many, hasn't he? He doesn't look the same.
He was struggling before
Yeah.
in the 3 Grand Prix that he rode at the start of the season.
It's
I
a
think
shame.
he's-
That's not the best way for him to bow out, is it? And that's a bit of a shame. But
Yeah, I mean, I know Nicky's always been a rider that's divided opinion. As he's a rider that a lot of people have loved to hate over the years, isn't it?
I
But
tell you, who does love Nicky Pedersen? Promoters,
absolutely.
bums on seats every
that's it.
time. Yeah. Okay, so
I've always said this though: the Grand Prix will be a much duller place when Nicky Pedersen's not there, because he has over the years livened up the dullest of meetings.
yeah, I mean, who's gonna take that mantle on? There isn't anybody out there that does that. Isn't aggressive in the same sort of.
I don't think they are. Matty Zagar obviously has been known to be quite aggressive over the years, but not to the same levels as Pedersen, and Zagar for me now is too inconsistent, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think Hans Hansen's can be as aggressive as Nicky Pedersen, but maybe
he's
a little bit
way
more.
past his
A
best.
little
Though,
bit,
isn't it?
I think maybe a little bit more subtle, to be honest. But,
Subtlety, that's never
yeah,
been. Well, yeah, I mean, we shall see on that one. Well, your nominations, please. Well, I think, gentlemen, it's time to wrap things up.
should we have one more quick?
Yes, let's have a
round?
quick look at the updates.
Okay, so we'll start off at Vauxhall first in the championship.
It was 28-20.
It's now 37-23 in favour of the Witches.
You would
So
think
I
that
think
they've
Ipswich are probably going to do enough now to win that one.
Sheffield Newcastle was 28-25.
29-25, it was very, very close early on.
29.
Still a bit closer, but Newcastle starting to fall away a little bit. It's now 39-33 in favour of
39-33.
Sheffield.
Isle of Wight Plymouth 37-35.
It's now 42-48, that's the final score. So
42-48.
yeah, so
So Plymouth have
Plymouth getting 2 5-1s, obviously with the big spearhead of Ryan and
right, yes, is what we was mentioning, yeah. And Redcar Glasgow.
well, they actually got a 4-2 in 13 because Coles beat Boxall, but it's enough for them to win the meeting. Finally, Redcar against
Glasgow.
Just
Bit of
waiting
a
on that
local
one to come through
derby.
there, that one there. Closer, a little bit closer now. It's Redcar 28, Glasgow 31. Jackson has had 2 rides and 2 lasts. Tom Perry's
dear.
had a second, paid third, an exclusion and a last. So a bit of a mix on for Tom
Yeah.
Perry as well.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We will see you all again next week. Keep your eye on all the feeds and so on, because we might have a special guest on next Thursday. If we can arrange that,
Of
we
course,
will.
The big one on Monday.
And the big one on Monday, yeah, we'll be talking about that, or crying about that, or whatever it turns out to be. Have a great weekend, everybody, and see you soon.
All right.
Right.
How do we pull this out of the bag every week?
Sure, we're going to do it now.
But you're getting lots of stuff coming in, like shape boxes. That's good stuff.
What we're going to do next? I'm going to abandon the. Well, not abandon it. But I'm not going to broadcast. Firstly, from the Sports Club page, rather go to the UK Speedway page and do from there to the other pages.
Okay.
Because we seem to get more interaction from other clubs.
Yeah, we do. We are.
Our
That's
own
happening
club.
now. Yeah, I think
It's weird.
it's all become a bit apathetic at the moment.
Need to do the old, isn't it?
Moving up. Well, exciting new promotion would be a bit out, wouldn't it? Is that a bin over there?
Yep. See if you can do it. See if you can do it.
Come on!
Got time this right.
It's the only thing I've got right today.